Alright, well, Jumbo, everybody.
All right, Jumbo folks, good afternoon. Hey, Jumbo.
Fair booty, that means welcome. So Jumbo, everyone, please make sure you slide all the way across your row, and once you find your seat, you stay seated for the whole safari.
They tip the bags out. Glad they do that, right? I can never get all that back.
Thank you, Warden. As we stand for Robin's Monday. Let's go, Jumbo, everyone. My name is Lisa, and I'll be your game driver for our photo safari through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Above you, you'll see a game spotting guide. This will help you identify some of the animals that we might see today. Probably won't see all of them, but we usually have pretty good luck out there. I do ask, though, just please make sure you stay seated for the whole safari. This is a real truck with real animals, and we don't want anyone getting hurt out there. But the reserve, it was established in 1971 to help protect the wildlife that we're about to see. Over the years, many of the animals, they have become less afraid of humans, which is really great for photo safaris like this. Do any of you have a favorite African animal that you're hoping to find? Zebra! Zebra! Cheetahs!
Nile crocodile.
Nile crocodile, nice and specific, I like it.
Monkeys.
Monkeys!
Elephant.
Ooh, elephants, giraffes. We won't see any tigers. Those live in Asia. We're in Africa right now. We might see lions and cheetahs, perhaps. I really like rhinos, so that's what I'm really hoping to see. Anybody a big fan of rhinos back there? Yeah, someone else likes elephants. So pretty much we want to see everything that lives in Africa is what it sounds like. Like just about everything, I think. But if you are taking photos of your favorite animals, always good to have your camera out and ready at all times. The animals, they could appear or disappear at any moment, and I wish we could, but we will not be able to stop for all of them. So some of your photos, they will be taken while the truck is still in motion. Shouldn't be too much longer though before we're able to start our safari. Do we have anyone celebrating anything back there? Do we have any birthdays? Happy birthday! See ya.
She's got like 5 days.
Oh, happy early birthday. 5 days, that's perfectly fine. I once celebrated my birthday a whole month early just because I could. And then I celebrated it on my birthday as well, so I love celebrating. We're a celebrating truck. Do we have any anniversaries back there? No, what about any first-time visits? Anyone's first safari? Oh, quite a few of you it looks like. Well, hope everyone has a fun time. But we can finally start now. We're in the Little Ituri forest. Many of the animals, they rely on their natural camouflage to protect themselves against predators. Usually works out really well for them, like these okapi over on the right. Dark brown animals, black and white striped legs.
Oh, those are really cute.
Oh, and there's also a yellowback duiker. He's the first animal. He's way over on the far right corner, that small black animal laying down on the ground. But the okapi, the bigger ones, they look like they're related to zebras because of their striped legs. But they're not. They are the closest known relative to giraffes. They look absolutely nothing like a giraffe in my opinion, but that's who they're cousins with. And the duiker, they get their name from the Dutch Afrikaans word duiker, which means diver, because when they're afraid, they tend to dive into the brush. And now we're going to see how close we can get to the watering hole. The watering hole attracts all different types of animals to this area of the forest. They'll come down to cool off, get a drink of water. So sometimes you can find even the most rare animals. Oh, there's a black rhino way over on the left, and then these are greater kudu on the right. Kudu are the second largest antelope on this reserve. They'll weigh about 750 pounds or so. And I know that one rhino was kind of far away, so we're going to stop for this guy instead. A little bit closer, easier to see.
Look, there's a rhino. Look at that rhino. His little legs are crossed. Like
wow. Black rhinos are very rare because they have been poached nearly to extinction. There are less than 5,000 black rhinos left in the entire world. So exciting to see him. Oh, and these on the right, these are bongos. Bongos have the nickname the ghosts of the forest because they're normally really shy and reclusive, but the one feeling pretty brave, standing between us and the bush. Let's see if we can find anyone else over here. Oh yeah, over on the left there are two large black and white birds. Those are saddle-billed storks. They can grow up to 5 feet tall, and they have an 8 to 9 foot wingspan. That's about as wide as our truck is. And the reason they don't look quite so tall right now is because they're actually sitting on their knees. They're not standing at their full height. But now we're going to drive on down towards the river, where we might get to see a hippopotamus or two. Hippos are the second largest animal in Africa. They can weigh up to 5,000 pounds each, but they can be a little hard to find. They get overheated really easily, so they try to spend most of their time in the water. There's one over on the right, but it's not a really great photo opportunity, so if you can't see them over there, that's okay. Just be patient. We'll find more hippos in just a little bit. The hippos, they're excellent swimmers. They can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes at a time, but they're also kind of lazy swimmers. They prefer to go all the way down to the bottom of the river, where they will walk along the bottom instead of swim through it like everyone else. Oh, and these large white birds, those are pink-backed pelicans on the island. And oh, here we have more hippos. Look at all of them down there. Look, there's 7 hippos, I think.
There's a funny name for that. A herd of hippos, there's a funny name for it.
And a group of hippos, it's called a bloat of hippos, which I think is a pretty accurate name because hippos have huge appetites. Each one of them can eat up to 150 pounds of grass every day. Don't see any more hippos down there in the water, but we are about to cross a bridge, so make sure everyone stays seated as we go across. Oh, especially because below the bridge, down there, those are Nile crocodiles. These crocodiles, they can grow up to 20 feet long, and they can run about 10 miles per hour on land. Sometimes they'll sit with their mouths open. I don't think I see anyone doing it right now, though. But when they sit with their mouths open, that's just them releasing heat from their mouths. That means they're overheated. And you would never want to sign up for swimming with the crocodiles. They have 2,000 pounds of biting pressure in their jaws. That's enough pressure to crush the bones of their prey. And as we drive up out of the river valley, the landscape is slowly beginning to change. And that's because we're heading into an entirely new area of the reserve. Different plants, different animals, and a different ecosystem. And speaking of different, there is an upside down looking tree on the right. This strange tree, it's called a baobab tree. They can live for thousands of years. They survive droughts by storing tens of thousands of gallons of water in their massive tree trunks. And they usually only have their leaves about 2 to 3 months out of the year. And this view that we have right now, this might be one of my favorite views in the entire reserve. We're looking out over the Savannah grasslands. They stretch for hundreds of miles across East Africa, and they're a home to millions of animals that migrate every year, such as elephants and lions and giraffes. This is the wild Africa that we're all working so hard to conserve. And here to greet us on the right, we have a herd of sable antelope. These sable are the official emblem of the Harambe Reserve. Their horns, they can grow up to 5 feet long. And they're used by the animals in displays of dominance and in order to protect themselves. And it's hard to tell because they're mostly hidden by the grass, but you can tell how old a sable is by looking at the color of their fur. They're born a very light shade of brown, and the older they are, the darker brown their fur becomes. And then all of these big red earthen mounds over on the right, those are all termite mounds. termite mounds are as hard as concrete, and they're often used by elephants as scratching posts. And when the elephants wear them down, they'll be used by smaller animals as lookout points, so they can stand up just a little bit taller. Keep an eye out for any predators that might be hiding out here in the tall grasses. And then up ahead on the left, they're a little hard to see just because they're so little and the plants between us and them are big. But those little tan antelope, they're called springbok. What I find most impressive about the springbok, they can jump up to 11.5 feet in the air. That's as high as our truck canopy is. Pretty talented little jumpers. I don't see too much else right now. We'll just keep on driving. Oh, there is a giraffe. Up on top of the hill, she is standing next to some trees. That's actually a Maasai giraffe, one of the 2 subspecies of giraffe on the reserve. Maasai have a very irregular, jagged shape pattern, but it's pretty hard to tell from this angle. She's so hidden up there. But giraffes are just a great example of how all the animals work together to create this landscape. They'll come through, eat all the leaves out of the treetops, help thin them out, so then the sunlight can shine through, allowing the grasses to grow for all of the large and small grazers. So in a healthy ecosystem, there should always be enough food for everyone. Oh yeah, we can see her again. She's up there on the left. It's hard to tell when there's only one giraffe to look at, but they all look different from one another. They have a completely unique hide pattern. Similar to the way humans, we have unique fingerprints. And hiding in the bushes over on the left, this is a Patterson's eland. She is the largest antelope in Africa. She can weigh about 2,000 pounds and can stand about 6 feet tall at the shoulder. And from a jumping position, standing position, they can jump about 8 feet high. Not quite as high as the springbok. Oh, and here we have a lot going on right now. We have white-bearded wildebeest, a waterbuck, Ankole cattle, and another giraffe. The waterbuck, he is the gray animal outstanding to the right of the palm tree, kind of off by himself. The white-bearded wildebeest, the Ankole cattle, big brown animals with the long horns, and then we have another giraffe over on the right. This giraffe is a reticulated giraffe. It's the second subspecies of giraffe. Reticulated giraffes have that more net-like pattern over their bodies. And it's not surprising that this giraffe is eating. Eating is one of their favorite things to do. A giraffe will spend about 20 hours out of the day doing nothing but eating, which sounds really fun until you learn that they never sleep for more than 5 minutes at any given time. Let's see if we can see anybody else over here. Yeah, we can see the wildebeest again, the Ankole cattle. Those wildebeest, they make one of the largest annual land migrations of all animals. Every year, about 1.5 million of them will migrate across the savannah. And they also have the African name gnu. It's spelled G-N-U because it mimics the sound that they make. But we're gonna leave all these animals behind and cross over into elephant country. I like to call this area that because you usually see a few elephants every now and then. Keep our lookout for an elephant. Elephants, we'll know if we find one or not. They are the largest animals in Africa. There's actually mandrill monkeys on the left, though. Oh, and that's the big dominant male. He's sitting directly behind a tree, so he's kind of hard to see for some of us, depending on where you're sitting. That big guy over there. Mandrills, they're the largest monkeys in Africa. They'll weigh about 100 pounds once they're fully grown. And back to looking for an elephant. Don't see anything yet, though. But that's okay. If we don't find any elephants here, we'll just find them further up ahead. Elephant country is a pretty big place. Oh, you won't get a good photograph of him, but you might see his, he might have moved. You might see his tail swinging back and forth way back by the rocks. And I don't even think we can all see them at the same time. But we'll just keep driving, trying to find elephants that aren't hiding from us. Elephants, they're very social creatures. They always live together in a large herd, and it's the female to make all of the important decisions. And that's because the males, when they reach adolescence, they are kicked out of the herd. So they have to either go off on their own or join an all-male bachelor herd. And if we find elephants, look for any calves that might be with the group. Elephants have the second longest childhood of all living creatures. They're second only to humans. They'll be by their mom's side for about 15 years or so before they're considered adults. Oh, and it looks like we're getting closer to more elephants now. See a lot of footprints, tusk marks in the clay. Elephants are always wandering over here because the clay is full of vitamins and minerals. It's really healthy for them to eat. And it's a common misconception, but both male and female elephants, they both grow ivory tusks. But this does make them a target for poachers who will try to sell the tusks on the black market. We're doing everything we can to protect these animals, and you can too. You can support your local conservation organization and educate yourself and others about the animals. The more we learn about them, the better we can care for them and help them survive. And we'll be able to stalk for these elephants just up ahead. We want to get as close as we can before we stop. Oh, look, and there's calves over on the left. Look at those two little guys over there.
Oh, look at the baby.
And a lot of these elephants have really dusty backs. They do that on purpose. They're intelligent animals, and they know that their skin is vulnerable to sunburn. So they'll use grass, sand, mud, dirt, whatever they can find, and they'll use it as a natural sunblock. A little bit closer to the wildebeest over on the right. Oh, and here we have more elephants down at the watering hole. And these two elephants down here, they're flapping their ears back and forth. They do that to stay cool. Blood vessels run along the backside of their ears, and by moving them back and forth, they can lower their body temperature about 15 degrees. Oh, and then also down here at the watering hole, these are flamingos. A group of flamingos, it's called the flamboyance of flamingos. And this is the flamboyance of greater flamingos. Greater flamingos are some of the tallest and the lightest shade of pink of all flamingos. They're not born pink, they're born great little fluff balls, and they eat a diet mostly of shrimp. Shrimp is rich in something called beta-carotene, and that's what turns their feathers this pink color. And it takes about a year and a half or so before their feathers turn fully pink. Well, let's see what we can find around the corners, see if anything's up ahead. Now, this area, even though it's vacant at the moment, you can definitely tell something big was here not too long ago. A lot of the grasses have been ripped up, the trees have been knocked over. My guess would be a white rhino. And the reason I most think rhinos is because over on the left, there's a big mud wallow. Rhinos, they don't have sweat glands, so digging in the mud is their solution to staying cool in the hot African sun. But it just now got sunny. It's been a pretty cloudy morning, so the rhinos are probably somewhere else for the afternoon, but we'll see, maybe we can find them later on. Oh, but an animal we can see. They're a little hard to see, but they're there, I promise. Up on top of the hill, maybe about halfway up, there are two cheetahs laying down on the ground. There's a big pile of palm leaves. Look directly left to those leaves, way back in the shadows. Two cheetahs, one has her tail up. Those cheetahs, they are the fastest animals on land. They will average speeds up to 60 miles per hour. But they're sprinters though, so they can only maintain that high speed for a few hundred yards at a time. And you can still see them over there, way back, far side of the hill. It's hard to believe when they're over there resting in the shade, but cheetahs, they're the only members of the big cat family who will do their hunting during the daytime. And this big hill of rocks that we're approaching, this is called a kopie. And if we're fortunate enough to find any lions, this is where we would find one. But the lions, they can be a little tricky to find. They're nocturnal, so during the day they'll sleep about 20 hours to conserve up all of their energy for their big nighttime hunt. Don't see any lions, but there is an ostrich on the right. I don't know how well we'll be able to see her, but she's up there on top of the hill. Yeah, if you look through the bushes, you probably won't get a good photo of her. Oh, just popped her head up. Ostrich, they are the largest birds in the entire world. They can't fly, they weigh too much. With their long legs, they'll run up to 35 miles per hour. Oh, here we have one slightly more easy to see. A fun ostrich fact, their eyeball is bigger than their brain. And then we have scimitar horned orcs on the right, large white antelope. Their name, it refers to the scimitar sword, because the shape of their horns resembles the shape of that ancient sword. Now let's see if we can find any lions. Back to that. Don't know if we'll find any though. The afternoon is their favorite time for sleeping. Yep, I don't see anything. No rhino luck, no lion luck today. Oh, but somebody we can see. There are two warthogs cuddling up together underneath the tree. Those warthogs are the largest burrowing mammals in Africa. They love to dig burrows with their razor-sharp tusks. Unless they're feeling a bit lazy, then they'll end up just stealing one from another animal like an aardvark. Oh, and there are zebras over on the right. These zebras, the age-old question, are they black with white stripes, white with black stripes? You can tell by looking at their noses. They have a black nose, so they are in fact black with white stripes. And there are rhinos way back in the corner. They're a little hard to see, but they're over there. And these zebras, they look docile when they're overgrazing in the grasses, but they have an aggressive streak. They have enough power in their hind legs to break the jaw of an attacking lion. And there's one last area left for us to explore, and this is land that was recently added to expand the size of the reserve and to encourage animal migration. And the current residents, they're called addax. They're a type of desert-dwelling antelope. Their name is spelled A-D-D-A-X. They're a medium-sized white antelope, long spiral horns on top of their head. That's what we're looking for right now. And oh, it looks like they're all over on the right side of the road right now. But the addax, they are a desert-dwelling antelope, and they have fully adapted to living in the dry desert climate. They can go nearly their entire lifetime without drinking a single drop of water. Instead, they're able to absorb most of the water they need from the food that they eat. They're pretty incredible animals, but they are critically endangered. There are less than 300 addax that still live in the wild. And unfortunately for us, they bring us to the end of our safari. I have to drop you all off at the nearest warning post. And from there, it'll be just a short walk back to Harambe village. But if you'd like to see more animals on your trip to Africa, I always like to recommend the Pangani Forest Trail. It's a walking trail where you might find silverback gorillas, there are naked mole rats, monkeys and meerkats, and an underwater viewing area of the hippos. And if you brought your passport with you, venture on down the road to Asia to the Maharaja Jungle Trek. And on that trek, you might find tigers and giant bats. There are Komodo dragons and all different types of bird species. Both trails should only take about 15 to 20 minutes or so, depending on how fast or slow you go and how many pictures you decide to stop and take. In just a few more turns, we'll be back at the Warden, so it's always good to check your pockets and your seating area. Make sure you don't leave anything behind today. Looks like both Wardens are a bit occupied at the moment. We'll see if one side clears up before the other. Has anyone gone on any fun and exciting adventures yet today? Did anything really fun and awesome? Nope, nothing. Been a boring morning. It's okay. Did anyone go ride Everest yet? Anyone ride Everest? Nope. What about Dinosaur? Anyone go ride Dinosaur? Nope. Has anyone met Mickey and Minnie yet? No? Everyone did nothing all morning? That's okay. You went on a safari, so the next person to ask you that, you can say you went on a safari. Gordon's almost ready for us up there, though, and so once again, my name is Lisa, and it's been a pleasure going on safari with you all. Hopefully you're able to get some really great animal photos out there. And here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye because it is far too sad and formal. And so instead, we like to say kwaherini, which is a Swahili phrase that translates to go well. So kwaherini, everyone, and I hope you all have a great day. And don't forget, it's a jungle out there, so don't be afraid to go just a little bit wild.
Welcome back, everyone. Please watch your arms length to the right-hand side. Watch your step down.
You're welcome, kwaherini. Have fun out there. Stay cool. Make sure you drink lots of water.
We could get the other one. Where is that?
Ahí la entrada de nuevo.